Hi, my name is Isaiah.
And my name's Ayana.
And you are watching the Let's Talk About It show. Make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends and family.
We will be live on Facebook and YouTube every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. So don't miss out, guys.
And hit the notification button so that you can see every time that we post a new video.
Stay tuned for our parents. Bye.
Bye.
Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and welcome to the Let's Talk About It show. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Let's get some likes. Let's get some hearts. Let's get some shares. Start a watch party. Today's show is going to be amazing.
We're so excited. We have such an amazing guest on today, and we're super excited, especially right now because Christmas season's coming up. And of course, not all of you guys have your Christmas shopping done.
Definitely. But before we get to that, I got some announcements that I want to give out. Next Saturday, the 28th, we're going to do a Thanksgiving special program. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And what we would like for our viewers to do, between now and Tuesday, if you have something to be thankful for, right? Think of one thing that you have to be thankful for in the year 2020, and you can send that to me at StephenHaley36@gmail.
Yes.
Right? You can send me either a 1-minute video of you saying what you want to be thankful for. You can send me just a message if you don't want to be on camera. That's my email address. If you don't want to be on camera, just send me a message, or you can hold it to the show and put it up, and then that way we can read it, because it's a year of Thanksgiving.
It really is.
Right? We know the pandemic's going on.
In spite of what's happening, in spite of what's going on, it's still a year of Thanksgiving. And so we're going to have so much amazing thing. We're going to have a viewer on, one of our top viewers on, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Because that's one of the things we're thankful for, that you guys would come on and watch us every Saturday so faithfully. And so we're going to honor one of our viewers, Miss Gwen, Sister Gwen Butler. She's going to be one of our guest hosts. And then we're going to have our family on. Yes, that's going to be amazing.
That is going to be
Since
amazing.
We can't be together physically, this is how we're going to do it virtually.
Exactly. And we're just going to talk about what we're thankful for and stuff like that. So it's going to be an amazing show. It's going to be, unfortunately, it's going to be our last show of the year, last show of the season, and stuff like that. And so we're asking, hey, it's going to be a Thanksgiving special after party, and we're going to have so much fun. I'm telling you. And I got a secret guest that I want to have on. And so in order for you to know who that secret guest is, you're going to have to tune into the show.
Good morning, Miss Rebecca.
Good morning, Miss Rebecca. Good morning, Brian, out there in VA. Good morning. Good morning, Pastor Yvonne, VA again. And good morning, Miss Gwen. God bless you guys. So again, start watch parties. Today's show is going to be amazing.
Yes.
We have some special guests with us that are very near and dear to
our hearts.
Yes.
They really are. And every time I think about them, I think about, do you guys ever have people in your life that it's going to sound funny, but like they're the type of people that, they coming over, you're like, hide the China. Or you just think about, you see their phone number come up and you're like, I don't want to talk to them right now. Or they're just like, every time I think about these people, gosh, it's just such a disappointment.
Or every time they ask you to do something.
It's like,
they don't.
nah. Well, that's who we are to this couple. This is how we are to this couple. We literally sit down and think, we never do anything good for them. We never do anything right for them. We're always behind, and we're always getting it wrong. So we just want to introduce, and they're like family. Yes. So they love us anyway. But this is Auntie Joey and Auntie Tammy Martin.
Uncle Joey.
Hello.
That is so not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true. You guys bless us constantly.
All the
time. Good morning, Marisol. How you doing? Good morning. So before we get started, is there anything that you guys would like to share with our viewers? Anything you want to say about yourselves? You want to give shout outs to your kids, your family, whatever? This is the time.
My kid's probably still in the bed, but no, we just wanted to say good morning to everyone. We wanted to say to you, thank you so much for having us. Yes. We are so humbled and honored to be here. We don't say that with false humility. You know, we're so grateful that you would even consider us. And we're so proud, Stephen, of you and Kenise, because we have literally seen God transform you two into some talking machines.
Yes.
So we are so blessed for what God has done in you. And, you know, we just like to give our disclaimer before we even open our mouths and speak about anything pertaining to finances, that we have never been, nor are we now, CPAs, financial counselors, or advisors. We're just a guy and a girl who just knew what God's promises were for us, and we endeavored to go after them.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
You guys have definitely changed our trajectory in our finances.
I'm trying to tell you.
So you guys might not be certified in it, but you guys are very, very graced to work in this realm.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we just want to let our viewers know that what's going to be talked about today is not theory.
Yeah.
This stuff has been actually put into practice. And I know there was, when we first started budgeting with the Martins, I think it was in 2009. And I'm telling these folks, they serious about budgeting. But in 2009, we started budgeting with the Martins, and it was during our giving campaign, because we were at our church, Destiny Christian Center. So during our giving campaign, and we were in giving towards the building we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to give a super seed of $10,000. Now that all that's relative. You know, that could be a little to some, a lot to others. It was a lot for us. It was something that we've never done before. And I remember giving the testimony that that's what we were going to do on that Sunday. We was going to give $10,000 for the building of God's kingdom, right?
Yes.
And we were so excited about that. And we came home and we saw a wet spot on our roof. So I called on the ceiling. I called the warranty people, and they said, well, the soonest we can get somebody out is on Thursday to check it out. And we were like, all right, cool. Went to bed, and the very next morning, I kid y'all not, the very next morning, that small water spot turned into this big bow, and our ceiling had caved in.
Yep.
And we were like, what in the world? And by the end of the day, I mean, water completely bursted in and flooded the living room. And to make a long story short, or at least interesting, it was going to cost us $10,000. $10,000 to get it fixed. That's what the estimate was.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling my budgeters, our budgeters, Eldridge Tammy, and telling her what was going down. And I'm thinking she's going to have grace on us. She's going to talk to, she's going to say, hey, you guys go ahead. And
take care of that.
Take care of that.
That's more important.
That's more important. And all she had to say for us was, "Oh my,
oh my,
oh my." And I was like, "Yeah. So what are we gonna do?" And she said, "What do you mean? What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna give.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna give. You guys are gonna honor God, and God's gonna honor your sacrifice.
You're gonna do what God said to do."
And we did what God told us to do. We sowed that seed of 10,000.
Yeah.
And not only did we got 15,000 back on taxes, so we were able to sow. And then we found another contractor to fix our roof for not even $1,000.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, the things that they're going to share today, I promise you. So this is not theory. Yes. This is not theory. This is all practical things that you can do, that you can apply. And if you do that, it'll change your life forever. I promise you.
Will. So we're going to go ahead into today's topic is how not to go broke for Christmas.
How not to
go broke
for
Christmas. Because 'tis the season where everybody's just going out there. Got to get this, got to get that. Got to buy for everybody. You know, the list is this long. And, you know, what is the biblical principle behind, you know, this season? And how do we not go broke for Christmas? And so we're going to be coming from Proverbs 21:20, where it reads, "Wise people save the nice things they have. Fools use up everything as soon as they get it." Wow. Yeah.
That's deep.
I want to be wise.
I want to be wise because I don't want to spend up everything I got.
So our first discussion topic is, should we use credit cards to buy gifts? And if so, how much should be on those?
Well, before I answer that question, I would just like to say, Stephen, and what you said is so true. We apply these same principles. Everything that we put on these notes that we have applied everything to our lives as well. So, like you said, it's not just in theory. Right. But in answer to your question, if you should use credit cards to buy gifts, and if so, how much? Our answer is absolutely not. That is a big no-no. Wow. We strongly, highly, emphatically recommend that you do not use your credit cards to purchase Christmas. And I want to give you guys an example. Now, this is going to be a slight math class, so I really want you to stick with me because this is going to change your life. So, for example, if you spend $1,000 for Christmas this year,
okay.
Let's say the interest rate is 18%, which is actually quite common for credit cards. So based on these numbers, your minimum payment is only going to be $20. Your interest payment is going to be $15. Now, did y'all see what just happened there? Wow. So you're going to pay $20, but only $5 of that 20 is being applied towards paying off your debt.
Now, Auntie Tammy, can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
You said 18% is the interest, right? Now, is that normal for folks who have good credit, or is that folks who got?
Well, I looked it up, and the interest rates right now are 13.99% up to 25.49%. So the interest rate is based on your credit score, but even with a nice credit score, you still may be at 13.99%, which is 14% all day.
And it may not even be based on your credit score. It may just be based on the credit card company that you're with.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. So now here's the good part, or at least interesting. Mm-hmm. If you just pay the minimum payment of $20, it'll take you, and I wanted to pause for dramatic effect.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. 151 months, or that calculates to 12 and a half years to pay off your credit card. Yes.
Oh my God.
But wait a minute, keep your mouths open, because wait a minute, but that's not all. You will also pay $1,396 in interest. So the grand total for your $1,000 Christmas shopping spree this year will be $2,396.
And that's paying the minimum.
And that's paying the minimum payment. Now, of course, people may say, well, you know, what if I drop lump sums on it? And you can do that, you know, because you're not held to just the minimum payment. But I always like to think this way. If people could drop large sums of money on a credit card, they wouldn't have used it in the first place.
You should have used a credit card in the beginning.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's real talk.
That's real talk. So what ends up happening is you end up paying way more than the gifts were actually even worth. And you end up paying for Christmas much longer than you ever intended, because in 12 years, Christmas done came and went 12 times.
Yeah, you're still paying for
And
it.
you're still paying for that one Christmas.
And then you may use it on the next Christmas, and you're still paying for that Christmas and the Christmas after that.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And this is a true story, because we are actually paying for Christmas from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost over.
Let me
we
tell
were
you
like,
guys something.
we will never do it again.
Let me tell you guys something, and we can relate because we've been there, done that, got our T-shirt, a keychain, and a coffee mug. Truly, we have done it too. So that's how we know. But then another thing that they do is a lot of places during Christmas or during the holidays, they try to draw you in by offering you a 0% finance charge for 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
But if that promotion has a deferred finance charge or interest, then what happens is at the end of that promotional period, all of that, if you haven't paid your credit card off during that time, at the end, all of the interest that you would have accrued over those 6 months or that year is tagged on to the end. So if you only owe $1 on that credit card at the end of that promotional period, now you owe that $1 and
Plus
all
6
that
months of interest.
plus six months to a year of interest. And a lot of people don't know that. Now there are some that offer 0% financing, and there's no interest during the duration of that promotional period. But I just say leave it alone altogether, because some people don't know how to be able to tell the difference between the two.
Right.
So that answers that question.
So if you guys can turn down your volume on your end, because I hear some feedback.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, that's a whole lot better. Okay, so I want to make sure what you were saying, I was hearing you correctly, because I've received the promotion interest-free for 6 months to a year. I think I've got one credit card that says up to 18 months. So if I were to spend $1,000 on that credit card, and I paid it off within the 6 months and maybe had a balance of $1, I gotta pay the six months or the 18 months of interest on that $1.
Well, that's if that dollar was still tagged to that purchase. You see what I'm saying? Like, say if you purchased $1,000 and you paid $9.99 and had $1 left for that purchase, then all the interest would come on. Because remember, your credit card is going to divide what purchase, promotional purchases, regular purchases, yada, 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 and so forth. So you have to really watch those promotional purchases, because when the money is applied, most of the time they're applied to your lowest balance.
Okay.
So you have to make sure your promotional balances are paid. So you have to call them and say, hey, how much do I owe on this promotional balance? Because if you don't, and there's $1 left, all that interest is going to come in.
And you can call them and tell them you would like to apply your last payment to towards the promotional interest, or the promotional thing. You can tell them you'd like to apply the the money towards that. Because if you don't, like he said, if you have other purchases on there that may not have fallen under that promotional thing, then they'll apply it how they want to apply it, and not necessarily how you're trying to apply it.
And let's be real, they're banking on that we don't think like this.
Exactly.
Right, and the credit card companies is out to make money, not lose money.
Yes.
They're banking on you not paying off your credit card, because most people don't. Most people don't.
They say you're gonna forget about this purchase, or you're gonna. Oh, another thing, I just thought about this. It just come to me. And if you miss a payment on your promotional thing, or something, like say you be late on your credit card payment, then your promotional payment has just ended. They cut it off.
Yeah.
It canceled out.
It canceled out
on it. So now that interest now is applied, period. Because you cannot miss a payment or be late on a payment when you have a promotional thing. So that just came back to me. I don't know.
And not being the fine print, because they don't tell you that stuff up front.
No. It's in some fine print. But if you miss a payment,
most people don't read the fine print.
Most people don't. But if you miss a payment during that promotional period, then all your interest is that promotion has just been zeroed out.
My goodness. So with that being said, not using credit cards, or that not being, I just would say don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
How do we plan for Christmas, or do we just wing it?
Because I'm gonna be honest. It's just, how should we plan for Christmas, or should we just wing it? Now I'm gonna be honest.
There's been times where we were just like,
we're gonna wing it.
We're just gonna wing it. Let's go ahead and see what they got over here this year, maybe.
Now, when you say wing it, you mean just wing it and use the credit cards, or just wing it?
We don't even have a budget. Just we're just gonna go out there and just figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you just go out there and figure it out, you're gonna get your life handed right back to you. You go figure it out if you want to. You're gonna come home and you're gonna be trying to figure out
what happened.
this is what you're gonna be figuring out: how you gonna pay your rent, how you gonna pay your mortgage, how you gonna pay your bills. You just wing it if you want to, and I guarantee you'll never do that again.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So how should we plan? How should we plan for Christmas?
Well, what you should do, we should establish a Christmas club, right?
Okay.
Like you said, a Christmas club. What a Christmas club consists of is a plan. What you do, you create a list of how many people that you normally shop for. And you decide how much money you're going to spend on each one. Once you come up with that, you divide that total by 12, and then you allow that to come out of your check, either monthly, either every 2 weeks, until and then 1 November, they're going to put the money back into your account, right? And then, but now this is the key though. If that amount is too steep, that you come up with all these people that you got on your list, if that amount is too steep, you might need to reevaluate how your spending plan again. Don't say I have to get this. Just reevaluate how much now you're going to spend on everybody, because you have to have it where it's comfortable and affordable for you, not for all the people you're buying gifts for. But that thing has to be comfortable and affordable for you and your spending process.
Okay, hold on, Uncle Joey. Please put that in the box. Your spending needs to be comfortable for you, not the people you buying gifts for, but comfortable for you.
But comfortable and affordable.
Comfortable and affordable. I'm sorry.
Comfortable and affordable for you and you alone.
Because the reality is sometimes unaffordable is unfortunately still comfortable for some people.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. Unaffordable. She's telling the truth.
Unaffordable is comfortable for some people. But let me throw in this caveat. So now that's the long-term goal, if on how to plan for Christmas. But okay, let's bring it practically to where we are now. Let's say somebody doesn't have a Christmas club. And here it is, November 21st. And they're saying, okay, well, what do I do now? I don't have a Christmas club.
Yeah.
What you do is you look at your budget. Hopefully you have one. If you don't, you know how much your bills cost. You know what you have left over. So you take what you can reasonably afford and you decide, okay, from now until Christmas, this is how much my budget will allow me to spend without me going broke, without having to rob Peter to pay Paul. So what can I afford to spend between now and Christmas? Let's just say it's $500. Then what you do is you take that Christmas list of yours and you figure out how to manage that $500 with all of those people. Right. So that's where we bring it to right now if you don't have a Christmas club. But next year, plan this way and you'll see how much more successful you'll be.
Right, and most banks have a Christmas club. They may call it holiday savings, or they may name it differently, but most credit unions have it, Christmas club, and most banks have it. But like I said, they may use holiday savings or something like that, but it's basically the same principle.
And you're saying this particular Christmas club, you put money in this club and you tell them how long it's going to go, and then they put the money back into your account?
No, what happens is once you start the Christmas club, you can't touch it until 1 November.
Right.
1 November, they put the money back into your checking, but what we do, we put it into a separate account where that's all we use it for Christmas, where it don't mingle with any other monies that we have. Oh, we put it into that account, and that's all we use that account for. And then once it's gone, it's out of that. Christmas over.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, so you know, like what we did with our kids, we gave them money, right? So Christmas was an envelope with money in it, pow, you know what I'm saying? And then once they got that money, what we did, we took them to the after Christmas sale, the day after Christmas, and they went buck wild. They bought everything they thought they could buy on sale because everything is discounted. So really, they making your money, their money work better for them than you did.
Yeah.
Because you bought it on the high part, and they bought it on the sale part.
Now, how old were your kids when you did this?
Let me tell you something. Aaron was 4 years old.
He was 4 years old.
He couldn't even see over the counter. We went to USAA because we didn't want them having cash, you know, because they were young kids at the mall. So we would put it on a little debit card. USAA and some banks.
Well, they don't do it no more though. They stopped that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, USA. But it was like she said, it was a credit card, a debit card with their name on it. We would put that money onto their account. And he was 4 years old, handing it over to the counter, and they were looking over and said, "This your credit card?"
They said, "Man, you got more money than we got." But he had it on a little debit card, and he would hand his little debit card up to the cashier for his purchases. So we started when Aaron was 4 years old.
He's 25 now.
Wow.
That's good. I wouldn't have thought that young.
We wouldn't have thought it either. It was nothing but the Lord.
Yeah, it was just God. Because like I said, we was inquiring. They said, "Oh, you can get this because you can also set a spending limit on it, so the kids couldn't spend nothing but $10 a day."
Right.
And you set that up. They didn't have control over that. All they had control of what you gave them to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say, "I'm gonna give you $20 a day," and that once that $20 is gone, it'll say not insufficient funds.
Even though they still
had money in it.
Mm-hmm. And what we would do also is it would allow you to set how much money they could take out of the ATM. So of course we knew they would be there through lunch. So we would allow them to take out like $20 just so that they could
have cash
to spend at the food court. But other than that, the money just stayed on that credit card.
So it was real safe, and it really taught them a lot because it taught them the value of money, because a lot of kids don't know the value of a dollar or a value of just having money, period. You know, so they just think it's just something to spend and to get what I want.
And USAA may no longer do it, but you know, I would say it wouldn't hurt to check.
But you can check with the banks. I know for a fact USA doesn't do it anymore, but they had a limit. It was from 4 to like 18. After 18, that account you couldn't enroll your kids in that account.
Now I got a question, because you can get prepaid cards and put money.
You can. Yes, you can. You can do that also.
Would that? Could you do that and that be a?
Now the prepaid, I know the prepaid accounts exist. I just don't know if you can control the money as you control the money with the USAA, because their daily spending limit. I don't know if you can do that on a prepaid, but no, there's something to look into. You know, all our kids grown and gone. So, you know,
But to be honest, even if you can't control that part of it, I mean, if you give your kids some explicit instructions on, you know, give them the $20, give them the cash so they don't have to worry about if it won't allow them to take money out of the ATM or whatever. So there's still ways around it, but that's still better than sending them out with money because, you know, people are just so crooked these days.
And then it was safe too, because like she said, crooked, because somebody has some cash, kids have cash, people take their cash. They may drop it out of their pocket with a debit card or a pre-spending card. If you lose that card, you can always call that bank and say, hey, we lost the card. And sometimes you can get it back. If it's a bank card, you know, then sometimes you can't because it don't have a name on it. You know, it's just some money on a card. So.
Well, and then one year, I don't know if you remember this, but Aaron had a little Hawk wallet and he had cash in it and he dropped it.
Yeah, he lost it.
Nobody ever returned it. And I mean, it was a Hawk wallet, so somebody knew it belonged to a kid. But he lost it, and
he had a few dollars in there.
He had a few dollars in there, and so that I think the next year was the year we stopped giving them cash.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does.
Okay, so the next question.
Leading up to that is, who should we buy Christmas gifts for? You guys kind of touched on this.
Yeah, are we obligated to buy for everybody?
For everybody.
We got a family like mine. I mean, we got families upon families upon families. The Haley clan is huge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm about to set some folks free right now, okay? The Bible says in Proverbs 21:20, it says in the New Living Translation, the wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get. Now, here's the reality. People, y'all listening? Nobody can afford to buy gifts for everybody. Nobody can.
Put that in the box.
Nobody can afford to buy gifts for everybody. Although I know we try. We used to try.
We used to try hard too.
Yes. So this is our Christmas list. Literally, we buy gifts for ourselves. We buy gifts for our children. We buy gifts for our grandchildren. And let me make sure I didn't forget anybody. We buy gifts for our children's significant others, and we buy gifts for our spiritual daughters. So that's it. Ourselves, our kids, their significant others, our grandbabies, and our spiritual daughters.
We used to buy for our moms when they were both living.
Right, and we bought for our moms when they were both living, but that's it.
We don't buy for brothers and sisters.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? We just
don't buy for cousins. These are my favorite cousins.
I mean,
but
every now and then we'll say, oh, you know, let's buy such and such a gift this year.
But we do that as God places
on our heart.
On our hearts. And he does that quite often. But this is our Christmas list. This is our hard Christmas list. You know, we stopped trying to buy gifts for everybody a long time ago because we got tired of allowing one day to break us for not only the whole year, but for several years.
You know, for months
and
months.
And I'll share with you this. The biggest struggle I had was that not to buy gifts for everybody who bought gifts for me.
Yeah, she used to try to do that, but somebody bought me a gift. I gotta go get them one. You know,
you saying we're not obligated to buy a gift for somebody who bought a gift for us?
You're not? Did you ask him to?
Now, well no, don't say that. Don't say that. Hold on. He is not a role model. Hold on. Hold on. He is not a role model. No, we don't approach it like that. What it is I know it sounds selfish and cruel, but if you don't stop it, you'll never break that cycle. And so sometimes people just buy gifts like it's not a requirement. If I buy a gift for somebody, I'm really upset if they just buy me a gift just because I bought them a gift. So some people just buy you gifts out of the kindness of their hearts.
And that's wonderful.
And they're not expecting anything in return. But we obligate ourselves to feel like we have to buy them something. So sometimes that'll just, allow people to fall off too. If they were buying it buying you a gift so that you could buy them a gift. Sometimes they'll just fall by the wayside because they'll say, "Oh, they didn't give me a gift."
But now I'm gonna tell you this, and let me caveat. And this may sound, I'm like the evil twin. You know, some people say I'll get them this little gift because I know they give good gifts.
Wow.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So they go to the 99-cent store, buy you a gift, and you go to Macy's and buy them $100 sweater or something.
I done got some jacked up gifts. You know who you are. I done got some jacked up gifts.
So they'll do you like that because they say, "Ooh, TT buy a good gift or whoever, right? They'll buy you." And my kids used to do that to me. They used to do it to me. They go and buy me a little shaving kit, and then I'll be like, "Wow, you got a PlayStation? I got a shaving kit. Wow." But you know, but to me, it wasn't about the money or the monetary value of the gift. It was more that you had me and you placed me in your heart and you wanted to.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the key about the exchanging, because I can give you a gift today and I don't expect it in a return, because God is going to provide for me, because it wasn't because I needed to give you something out of necessity. It was because I wanted out of the abundance of my heart to bless you.
Right.
Wow.
And here's what my challenge to everyone would be: to make a list of the people you want to buy gifts for.
Yes.
Now, of course, you're not going to be able to buy gifts for everybody that you want to buy gifts for, but at least start there. Let that be your baseline. Mm-hmm. And do not include the people on that list that you feel obligated to buy a gift for. That right there
your list is
going to change your list immediately. Now, then once you change that, then you look at your budget, see how much you can afford, and then even the people that you want to buy gifts for, you may have to condense that list too. But that's where you start.
Yeah, because you can get in trouble with that. Because if I bless you with $500 and you'll say, "Shoot, I might have to spend the same amount of money they spend on me." And you may not have it.
Right.
So the gift I gave you, you just give back to me. So I could have kept my money.
Right.
So, you know, anyway.
So true.
That just like
revolutionary. I'm telling you, you free my mind if you didn't free nobody else's. So check this out. We that took care of segment 1. We're gonna go ahead and do this quick commercial break, or really it's Tori's call to common courtesy. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna discuss some more stuff. All right. So you guys, our viewers, don't go nowhere. We're gonna have the Martins back, and we're gonna have a good time talking about how not to go broke for Christmas. God bless.
Amen.
Welcome to Tori's Call to Common Courtesy, where I'll be bringing you basic life guidelines so you don't get on my nerves or anyone else's.
Hey Tori, what are you getting me for Christmas?
Well, Yana, that's a good question. I've actually been thinking about it a little bit. Not really, because I'm on a budget. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do arts and crafts together. Because when you're not listening to the Martins, clearly you're not listening. I gotta save my money, honey. I don't know what you want to do, but if you want to buy your own gifts, go ahead. But I will be making you paper airplanes. Okay.
Oh, and we're back. So if you didn't save nobody,
man. Wow.
And she's serious.
She's serious. She's
so
so
good. That's good.
I love it. Hey, I'll take a paper airplane.
I appreciate it.
I'm telling you, she was listening.
Yep.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back with the Martins, and we're talking about how not to go broke for Christmas. And I mean, what we talked about in the first segment was amazing.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the second segment. What's the first question, Boo?
I was gonna ask you. There's so many good ones.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So
I mean, you guys are just like really, opening up my eyes. I mean, we've talked budgeting with you guys for years, and I always learn something new. I always learn something more. I'm always inspired to do better.
Amen.
And so that's why I'm like, these questions are so eye-opening, and it's like I wish we could get to all of them, but the time, of course, because we really could talk this all day. It's just so good. So I'll let you choose.
You'll let me choose. Okay.
Yes.
So what are some helpful secrets for folks who have small budgets but want to make Christmas still meaningful?
That's a very good question. One of the things we suggest is do-it-yourself gifts, like the paper airplane.
Like the paper airplane?
Exactly. Yes. This will not only be economical, but it'll also give your gift a more meaningful feel, and it'll be more personal. I know sometimes my daughter, she makes peanut brittle, she bakes cookies, and she puts them in the cute little tins, and that's what she hands out. So definitely do-it-yourself gifts. YouTube now has a bunch of tutorials, and all you have to search for is like do-it-yourself Christmas ideas. And I'm sure a plethora of ideas will come up for you.
But see that, and that person took time. If a person make a gift for you, really they taking their time. They thinking about you. They thinking what you really like. So really they putting meaning into that gift. So really, those are real great gifts. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Shutterfly. You can do this. You can do that. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that you can do where it's not breaking your budget. You know what I'm saying? But you still coming across with a gift that's from the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can even go on Groupon.
Yeah, Groupon.
Groupon has a lot of great deals, economical, personalized, custom type gifts that you can get for people, and they're economical. Another thing is go to the after Christmas sales. Now this is going to be a little next level for people, but I did this one year and it blessed me. I actually went to the after Christmas sales, and I didn't go there to buy TVs and things like that.
Hey, we took the kids to the after Christmas sales and we went shopping.
Right. And I took them with the intent, I wanted to buy gifts for next year. So things like many of us have bottles of perfume that have lasted. I've had some for a year or two. So we know that perfume holds up over the year. You can buy perfume, you can buy clothes, you can buy pajamas, you can buy journals, coffee mugs. I mean, you know, it's a whole list of things that you can buy.
It's unlimited.
But what I was really grieved to find was when I went, everything that I had just given to my friends at full price was on sale. So I literally bought just about all of my Christmas that day, and I spent half price.
And probably a little less because some was less than half price.
Right.
You know.
Some was half price off the half price. So yeah. Wow. So it's just a thought for some people who are ready to go to the next level. But I just what I did was I had a little tub and I got little stickies and I wrote who that gift was for, because I knew I sure wouldn't remember by the next year. But I wrote who the gift was for, and I organized it in a little bin and put it in the garage. Yeah. And the next year I started pulling that stuff out and I started packaging it, and I just had to buy whatever was the difference with what I hadn't already bought.
But not only you don't have to just shop for Christmas for the next. You can see whose birthday coming up after the Christmas sale, and then you just say, "Ooh, shoot, this was $500, this was $200, this was $50. Now it's only $15. Ooh, my son would like that." So you go out and get it, because it don't hurt you to know who you're gonna buy a Christmas present for, but also a birthday present.
Birthday presents,
anniversaries,
just different things.
Just different things. But that after Christmas sale really is the spot, because they got to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
For the next lineup, so you gonna get it real dirt cheap, basically. And I'm not saying be cheap, but the stuff is half price and it's valuable.
And it's
so use your money wisely.
Yeah. And it's
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, I said, and it's still good quality.
Yes, and it's still good quality because it's just half price. It didn't change the quality of the product. You're absolutely right. But another thing you can do is buy a family gift. You know, it's more expensive. It's how many of y'all? About 9?
She's on 6.
It's 6 of y'all. It's 6 of y'all. So if I gave y'all $20 a piece, that's $120 for me. But if I bought you guys a family gift, I might be able to get that for $50.
Yep.
So you could always buy a family gift instead of trying to buy individual gifts. And family gifts are things like
Monopoly,
games, and like you said, Monopoly and things like that. A gift basket, things like that. So you can buy more of a family type gift. And then the other point I'll make is the clearance rack. At any store you shop at, there's a clearance rack. I know for a fact that Macy's, if you go to their clearance rack, a lot of times their clearance items are even marked down even more once you get to the register. So I recommend do your Christmas shopping on the clearance racks. Believe it or not, you can also shop at the 99-cent store and the Dollar General, the Dollar Tree. I bought this. I don't know if y'all can see it real good, but I bought this from the 99-cent store for $5. And I have gotten so many compliments on this. And I'm not embarrassed to tell somebody I got it from the 99-cent store because I was proud of my purchase.
It looks good in the house.
It looks good.
It looks really good.
Yeah. So those are other ways that you can shop if economically, if you have a small budget, but still give a meaningful gift.
Wow. Love it.
So what are some of what pitfalls should we avoid?
Okay. Pitfalls, huh?
We should
You really want to know?
I really want to know. I wouldn't have asked
because I want to grow.
Because I want to grow. Yeah, I want to know. Hey, somebody put that in the box. We want to know because we want to grow.
Because we want to grow.
We want to grow. Okay, what pitfalls? Okay, that's a great question, too, Stephen. You want to avoid during this time of the season signing up for credit cards and store cards because they're gonna say you go to say for instance you go to Ross. Oh, sir, we can give you a Ross card. We can take 20% off that purchase you just made. You might have went in there with $200 and came to the register with $200, and they'll tell you we'll take 10 or 20% off that purchase if you want to get us apply for a credit card today or a store card. Some people do that. You got to watch the 0% finance charges or this and the 12 to 6 months. Avoid all of that. Just I look at them and be like, no, I don't need that.
Nope.
Yeah,
because they're gonna ask you. They're gonna ask you, and then you got to avoid spending more than you can afford. Can't stress that enough. You avoid spending more than you can afford.
Please put that in the box. Avoid spending more than you can afford.
Right, because this time of the season is a stigma associated with telling friends and family. But for some reason, it's a stigma for this time of the season. Tell your family and friends that we won't be participating in Christmas this year. People are like, what? You ain't gonna participate in Christmas this year? But there's nothing wrong with that. If your budget does not allow it, don't be in bondage to buy somebody Christmas. Not saying that they're not in your heart. It's just that you can't afford it. You got to know where you are in your finances because, and not let people put you in bondage because, it's nothing wrong with saying no,
Right.
But the real problem with that is by saying no is our pride is too big to let people know that we can't afford Christmas this year. So our pride is pumped up. And in Proverbs 11:2 in the New Living Translation said pride pride leads to disgrace, but humility comes wisdom, right? So bringing your pride down just because you don't have it and trying to have it is worse than just saying no to me.
Wow.
Because if you had it, I would have gave it. But if I don't have it, don't be scared to let the family know that this Christmas is a little tight this year, so we won't be able to participate.
Wow.
So we have to humble ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So once you humble yourself, you'll be able God will be able to elevate you and bring you places that and change your finances around so much you wouldn't know. You won't believe it. You won't believe it.
And I would just say this with that is that, and if you tell your family or your friends that, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm struggling. It's a little tight. I'm not going to be able to do Christmas with you. And somebody can't understand that, then that's somebody you shouldn't be doing Christmas with.
They selfish anyway.
Because they really don't respect your struggle. So, because to me, if I told somebody that, I would expect them to
Oh, man,
understand
it's okay.
and say, don't even worry about it. In fact, let's all not get anybody any gifts, and let's just spend some quality time together,
Because it's not going to be like that always. It's just at this moment, this is where we are.
Right.
Then you have to avoid being mesmerized by all the sales that they have out there. Everything is on sale. Everything is on sale. What I mean by that is you can go up to a store right now, excuse me, right now, everything is marked up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything right now is marked up. And then it's going to say as a sale, but when you realize what's going on, that was the market price at the beginning of the year anyway. But you thought you got a sale because they marked it up 15 to 20%, and you just paid the normal price on that sale. It wasn't a sale. That's why we say the after Christmas sales work, because those are real sales, because they got to get rid of that stuff because they can't keep Christmas stuff out all year.
Wow.
So you only paying a normal price for it really with all these sales they saying. So
yeah, and what folks tend to forget, or one of the pitfalls that I know I used to fall into is, people used to measure how much you love them by how many gifts you gave them and stuff like that. And if my love is dependent upon gifts that I give you, then we ain't got no love walk. We really don't have.
And I'm gonna be honest. If my love is measured by that, then I purposely won't get you a gift that year. And I'll leave you guessing. I'll leave you wondering and guessing just how much I love you if that's how you're measuring it.
I'm telling you, man. Oh my goodness, this is good. I'm telling you, free my mind.
Really?
I mean, because like I said, saying that I'm not there yet could mean a couple of things. I'm getting my finances in order, so that way next year I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know. People are selfish, and they want to put you in bondage, and this is not the time to go in bondage, because Christmas is a depressing time of the year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes.
People commit suicide. They do all kinds of things over this gift, and it ain't even their birthday.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Christmas ain't your birthday.
Unless you're the gardeners, because it is their birthday that day.
Oh yeah. Those should be the only ones I bought birthday gift for.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're right. The gardener's birthday is Christmas. So yes,
shout out.
The gardeners will get a gift.
Shout out to Auntie and Uncle Gardner.
Yes.
All right. So our next question.
One last question. This is gonna be our last one. And you guys kind of touched on it earlier when you guys were talking about Aaron with his at 4 years old. That blows my mind.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I love it.
I know it's one to talk about.
Isaiah's getting money now.
Yeah,
I'm buying no more gifts.
So how should we teach our kids about money and budgeting? And I didn't put this on there, but at what age? But you guys started young, and I love that.
Yeah, we started very young. The problem is that a lot of us are not teaching our kids about money, and it's mostly because we weren't taught.
Right.
That's the bottom line. We weren't taught. Sometimes our parents weren't taught, so nobody's teaching anybody. The Bible says in Proverbs 13:22, it says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." The only way that we can do this is by being good stewards of our money, which includes how we spend it and how we're saving it. And we can't leave anything to our children if we ain't got nothing.
That's right.
And I know that's not good grammar, but if we ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Now, my grandmother, she taught me about saving when I was a little girl. She would have me, I don't know if y'all too young to remember the little Samsonite. It was the hard suitcases. And she had a little cosmetic one. And she used to have me just drop pennies in that suitcase all year long. And when it was November, just before Christmas, she would take me to the bank and she would allow me to cash in those pennies. And that actually was my Christmas money. So that was my first experience with saving for Christmas. But other than that, nobody taught us about budgeting, about saving money, about investing, or any of that. And like I said earlier, we just got tired of being broke.
Yeah, you get tired of being broke.
You get tired of your being broke. So we actually just, wanted more for ourselves. So what we did was we began with our children at the age of 4. We taught them to tithe. And what we would do is we would present an opportunity for them to be able to get money. Like we would, give them small chores to do so that they could tithe, so that they could have a little money to save, and so that they could have a little money to spend. And as they got older and they got real jobs, we actually budgeted with them so that, they had more to save, more to tithe, and more to spend. And so we did that up until they got grown, and some of them we still budget with today. Yeah. So that's how we taught them. And like I said, at the age of 4, they were able to understand that this is how much you have to give to God. You have this much, and this is how much you have to give to God. So at a very early age, you can teach them.
Right. Give them chores around the house, taking out the garbage. To take out the garbage is this much, so you get the value of the dollar. You see what I'm saying? And then something about work, because no work, no pay. You ain't taking out the garbage, then you can't expect me to give you some money.
Right. And then, of course, if they're old enough, you could do the more practical thing. You could either let them do chores around your house then too, because we did that with our 21-year-old. But the more practical thing we did was we made his butt get a job.
Yeah, get a job. You old enough, get a job.
Get a job. And what we learned is that as we began to see more and want more for our lives, and we began to budget and be good stewards, God began to give us witty ideas about how to better manage our finances and how to be blessed beyond what we could even have imagined. And I wanted to share this with you. I heard pastors Rob and Sheila Poole say this one time, and it blessed my life. But they said, if you don't get into an environment of vision, your environment becomes your vision. Wow. So what that really ministered to my heart is that we have to not only tell our kids, but we have to show them. We got to give them a vision of success. We got to give them a vision of being good stewards. We even got to give them a vision of what it looks like and how God will bless us if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing with our finances. But we got to be able to give them that vision, because if we don't, then their environment becomes their vision. That's all that they can shoot for, is what you've exposed them to.
Wow, that is really, really good. Auntie Tammy, I mean, shucks. And then one of the things I wanted to share was, and I think I got this from the Pools, Dr. Poole, a while ago. They posted this thing called the 52-week challenge. I don't know if you heard about it, but every week you put $1 away. So week 1 is $1, week 2 is $2, and so on and so forth, all the way up to $52. And at the end of that year, I thought it was amazing, but the math makes sense. You could save, I think it was $1,378. Yeah,
I don't remember the end amount either, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like, man, that's Christmas. You know what I'm saying? If you do it, if you time it just right, that could be your Christmas fund or whatever like that.
How your grandmother did.
Yeah, I mean,
made you save it yourself.
It's all kind of ways you can do. I have a big, those sparkly water jugs.
Yep.
Well, my goal is to fill it up, and I'm about there. I got dollars, $5, $10, quarters, dimes, pennies. It's almost to the top. It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting there. It's about a little bit over halfway full, but that's gonna be a lot of money.
That is, because those things are huge.
But see, folks don't think about the little things. They think they have to do this grand, big. I gotta put away $100 a week, or I gotta put $200. You know what I'm saying? And $1 a week.
Yeah, because we got our grandson a bank, and every time he comes to the house, we put money in it, and he'll put money in it, and it's still to this day, it's still upstairs, ain't it? Somewhere upstairs. So and it's dollars in there, and he'd be like looking at it, he'd be adding to it and stuff like that. So piggy banks still work, back in our days, I'm dating myself, but you can still put a piggy bank in your kid's room and say, put something in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Or if
but it's like you said, I'm sorry, Kenise, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but it's like you said, Stephen, the misconception is that you have to do this grand gesture, and it's really not that.
Simple.
I mean, it's really simple. I mean, if you just set aside $25 every payday, I mean, it may not amount to a whole lot at the end of the year, but that'll give you something to, if that's all you can afford, then that's your starting block. I mean, our starting block is not always going to be at the same spot,
So sometimes we start at the bottom and we work our way to the top. We don't start at the top and work it. Usually when you start at the top, you work your way to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you're going to be broke.
Right.
But if you start at the bottom, you work your way to the top.
And the Bible says, don't despise small beginnings. So don't anybody out there, don't ever let anybody make you feel less than because of where you are right now financially, because where you are right now is not your final destination. It's going to get better, but you have to follow the principles.
Right.
And you can't skip the steps. The only way you can skip the steps is if you get a big inheritance.
But still you can't skip some
And then if
steps.
you get a big inheritance,
I was glad that you to call them. Yes. Definitely.
Man, so this was revolutionary. Yes. This was life-changing. This was amazing. Yes. And we so much appreciate the wisdom and the knowledge that you've given us and our viewers, and the value, the added value that you've bestowed upon us. And so is there anything else that you would like to say, a last nugget before we close out the show?
The only thing I would like to say is to reiterate, guys, like Stephen started out saying, that this isn't in theory, this isn't stuff that we just read a book, came up with, this is stuff that we've lived. And I mean, we're definitely not where we want to be. And we know that this is not God's this is not the end for us. God is going to continue to bless us. But from where we came to where we are now, we can see the fruit of applying these principles.
Right.
So all I would just say is try it. Try it. Just challenge yourself to try something that we've said and see if it doesn't bless your life. I promise you it will.
It will change. Your life will change. Your finances will change.
Yes.
All right. Well, God bless you guys.
And thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us.
Appreciate you guys.
But you put me on the spot, but it's all right.
I told you we those friends. We those friends.
Yeah. No, that part was true. That part was true for me.
So we're gonna put you guys down in the queue. Don't go nowhere. We'll talk after the show. Okay. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
Bye.
Man, that was so amazing, babe.
I love it. And when they were talking, I thought about when we first got married and we went to them. I had so many credit cards. I had a New York Life. I had Sears. I had JCPenney. Every store that they went into, when Uncle Joy was saying the stores are going to offer that to you, I said yes. I was like, sure, sign me up. Sign me up. Thank God I got delivered from that because of the Martins. Because when we got married, they were like, you got to get rid of those.
Yeah, my hang up was suits. I had to buy a suit. Every pay period, I was trying to buy.
Mom and Dad.
I was trying to purchase a suit and stuff like that. And they was like, Minister Haley, you got to leave them suits alone, man. The numbers ain't adding up. I'm telling you. And so I'm telling you, it's what they shared with us today.
Yes,
it's practical.
It can change your life. Really, it can.
And it's not theory. And so I hope you got something out of that. And we don't ever like to end the show without giving somebody the opportunity to know Christ. And you might be like, "Why? We talked about finances and
what does that have to do?
What's that have to do with salvation?" Well, Jesus purchased our salvation with the gift of his life.
Yes, he did.
And the whole Christmas season is Jesus is that reason. I mean, it's a cliche, but he's the reason.
Kirk Franklin sang it.
Yeah, Jesus is the reason. Okay, I'm sorry. But so we wanted to give you the opportunity to come and know the love of Christ. And if you want to know the love of Christ today, please repeat after me. Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus.
Forgive me of my sins.
Forgive me of my sins.
I confess with my mouth.
I confess with my mouth.
And I believe in my heart.
And I believe in my heart.
That you are the Son of God.
That you are the Son of God.
Come into my heart.
Come into my heart.
Rule there.
Rule there.
Live there.
Live there.
And guide me there.
And guide me there.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
If you said that prayer with us today, we'd like to say welcome to the family.
To the family.
Woo-woo. Yes, they're having a party in heaven.
Yes.
Again, do not forget. Do not remember. Do not forget, next week, the 28th, is our Thanksgiving special. And between now and next week, email me.
Yes.
I want to hear what you're thankful for. That's the email address. I want to hear what you're thankful for. Send me a 1-minute video if you're so bold enough to do that. We would love to put you on the show to brighten somebody's day, because I know 2020 has been one, right?
Yes.
But if you're still living, if you're watching this show, you have something to be thankful for. You're on this side of life. And so God bless you guys, and we'll see you guys next Saturday on the Let's Talk About It show. God bless.
Bless you.
Thank you for joining the Let's Talk About It live broadcast with Steve and Kenise Haley. We pray that today's show has inspired you to be the change in the world that you want to see. If you enjoyed today's live broadcast, like, follow, subscribe, and share it so that you do not miss out on all future shows. Also, if you do not have a church home that you fellowship in, we are inviting you to join us and follow our pastors, Bishop Jesse and Dr. Helene Giddens, pastors and founders of Destiny Christian Center, Victorville, California, via Facebook and Instagram Live every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also go to the church's website at destinychristiancenter.org and view services there. At Destiny Christian Center, you will receive a Right Now word giving you the keys to victorious Christian living in your faith, family, and finances. Thank you all again for joining us today. And remember, now that we have talked about it, let's go and be about it. See you next time. God bless.